Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right down, tell you how I became the king of marketing. John Mason once said, "You were born an original, don't die a copy." That was some really bad rapping, by the way. Uncle Frankie here, the man with the huge muscles that's going to transform your marketing message. Go ahead, act like you're not impressed. I don't think you can do it. Alright, that's pretty awful, I know. So you're not going to believe this, but as this training goes on, you're going to learn the secrets of million-dollar ad campaigns we've created and that you can use in your own business. There is only one catch. You have to mail me 99% of the profits when you're done. But I'll have you know I can be talked down to 98%. But first I have to give you something a lot less fun, but so unbelievably important that we just couldn't skip it. This is sort of like the wax on, wax off training that will eventually make you a kung fu master of writing advertisements that bring you your absolute best new customers, all on complete autopilot. So let me explain here. Have you ever had this kind of experience? A customer calls you up or emails you and they want to know how much you charge for something. You give them the answer even though you've got a good price. They literally just can't disappear fast enough. How many times has something like that's really weird like this happened to you? And you can kind of just tell that they're calling everyone to see if they can get it down the street for like a penny less. And you know there's going to be that one god-awful competitor who will just do a horrible job for like super dirt cheap. You know, that guy. So in this segment, I'm going to show you a super simple technique to escape those awful customer price wars without resorting to mob tactics of beating your customers mercilessly into buying your products or services.
Killing to me is like taking out the garbage.
A quick little disclaimer though, not beating your customers will probably actually hurt sales if you're a dominatrix. Yeah. So here's where it gets good. To fix this, we're going to need to use the second golden rule of marketing, which is the unique cure. So here's all the down-home goodness that this second golden rule of marketing will do for you. Firstly, we'll get happier customers. We'll end up with better paying customers. And you'll set your own prices and escape all those crazy market paradigms. And it'll be easier to sell and market. And most importantly, I'll keep you away from looking like a douche, because none of this will be a marketing manipulation. You'll actually just be giving people what they really want. So does that sound easy? Good. So there is a little warning first. If you don't use this rule, it gets bad. And I mean really bad. So when you don't apply this secret technique, often what you'll find is your customers treat you as a servant of their time. And unfortunately for you, they typically don't value and respect someone they see as a servant.
Yes, me lord.
Why do they treat us like crap like that? Well, in their mind, it's because they can get what we offer virtually anywhere else from our 8 zillion competitors. But the good news is that it's easy to fix. So let me explain why this frustrating situation is going on, if that's happening to you, and we'll get into the answer. It may sound crazy, but that's happening to you because your customers see you as just another blank, where blank is your type of business, and just another blank is not where you want to be. You are perceived as a lowly blank face more often than not when you're in a field where there is more competition than there are cat videos on YouTube, if that's even possible. But this horrible thing inevitably happens out of that situation. Your pricing becomes what I call commoditized. And that means it becomes very hard to charge more than anyone else is getting, which is not so good for your bottom line. And that sucks even more, I know, because you're different and not like all those other goofballs you're competing with, for the sheer fact that you're looking to learn and grow just by being here watching this video. So without further ado, what is the magic fix? So we've got this super secret technique incoming, and I'm just doing this for the dramatic pause and effect. The way to do that is to come up with what we call in the internet marketing world a magic bullet. So what the hell am I talking about when I say a magic bullet? No, that's not a lame Kennedy assassination reference. It's actually the easy solution for you. A magic bullet is basically a product or service that provides massive transformational value to your customer and can basically change their life. But there's a big catch. And that is, it only works if you're addressing a key emotional problem that is just driving your customers crazy. So your prospect should feel all warm and fuzzy inside, like if that problem was solved, it would have tremendous obvious benefits. Let me show you what I mean. On the internet, every so often a new piece of software comes along and automates some god-awful, boring, repetitive task, and I've been a sucker and bought a few of them, so I should know. Here's why that matters to you. People will typically buy that software in droves of buying frenzies, something that it resembles like the Tickle Me Elmo craze. You remember how crazy people were over Tickle Me Elmo when it came out? I digress. The point of that is that people will buy the software even if the entire marketing message flat out sucks, and this relates to you and your customer. So why is that? When you have something awesome that provides a unique answer to your customer's real emotional problem, it becomes obvious why they'd want to pay you lots and lots of money to get it. So you'll never experience something easier to sell. In fact, you don't even have to come up with any sort of fancy marketing language to bewitch them, because they already gave you the god-awful problem that drove them crazy in the first place. And they even described to you how much it sucked. So where do you go with this to make your customers just completely fall in love with your business? Well, the obvious answer is that you need to have a magic bullet. So in the first video I sent you, you saw how we got to the core of our customers' just wild and crazy emotions. And we weren't doing that to manipulate them, believe it or not, but to actually be cool people who actually listened to them and then gave them a real answer to their problem. So now this next part may just shock you a little, but your customers don't actually care what you sell, or even how much you charge for it. So what's this crazy marketing guy saying? Well, let me explain. They only want the awesome result that your product or service provides, and they'll pay you whatever that result is worth to them. So it may sound a little weird, but regardless of your field, you are in the results business. The pricing is just related to whatever the market will bear for your kind of solution. So true value, more than anything, is when you can truly say to your customer, I can give you an amazing result in a cool and unique way that nobody else can. So now you're going to have to be a little bold here, because your product must be unique and it must provide a true amazing solution to your customer's terrible problem. So it has to be new, but don't worry, new can just be a combination of familiar things in a new way. The iPhone's a great example of that. They didn't invent the cell phone, the camera, or the MP3 player, but they just combined it in a new and cool way. And if it's not new, that's really bad for you. Imagine if you sold encyclopedias today. You would get killed because it's outdated. So don't be that person selling the same stuff in the same dumb way and then wondering why it's not working. The second thing is that it must be unique. That means when your customers look at you, they intrinsically know that what you offer is not easy to substitute. You're a tough mofo to replace. You've got to give them some cool benefit your product offers that your prospects just can't easily get elsewhere. And the combination of unique and new gives your customers sort of an aha feel. It should almost feel like it reveals some kind of secret, some kind of top secret solution that no one else has ever shared with your prospect before. And of course, you can't be a pussy. That's the highly technical term, by the way. It must be unapologetic, it must be unabashed, it must be a promise of a cure with certainty. No exceptions. And if you don't think it's awesome enough to deliver results yet, and that it'll genuinely transform your customers' lives, then keep refining your magic bullet until you can confidently say that your magic bullet just rocks. So I am warning you first, though. This won't always be easy, and sometimes it takes some serious patience and creativity to find the answer. If you try it, and you kind of get the feeling of being stuck, it's completely normal. And the reason that happens is because most businesses are really lame, and they just copy what other businesses are selling, the same crap in the same old way, and so you naturally get stuck when you first try and actually think differently. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Even the Jedi Master here, I've sometimes contemplated for weeks and weeks before I figured out a unique way to solve an emotional problem for my market, but there is no choice for you. You have to figure it out, or it's always going to be difficult to sell what you sell. So here's the evil genius you need to put into your product or service. And when I say evil genius, I picture you sitting there like this, like scheming your magic bullet. You don't actually want to build a better mousetrap. People who think like that have it all backwards. You want to build a better way to get rid of unwanted mice, which is the real god-awful problem that people want solved. So I hope you enjoyed this video because I enjoyed making it for you. I've got a little something extra that's really cool for you, and you're going to love the price. It is a free report for you to download on 7 ways you can make your product or service a unique cure without changing a whole lot that will get people really excited to buy from you. So click the link below and download it, check it out, and I will see you guys in the next video where we start getting more specific by talking about automating your lead getting. Frankie, over and out.